Hi everybody, it's Miss Hunsaker here, and I'm back with yet another Mathia video. If you remember from our last ones, you should be in the FWPS Linear Equations and Inequalities module, and you will have, if you're watching this video, you should have already finished the linear function overview. So now this box should look like mine, this like light green teal color should say review, which means that you are done with it. Awesome. If you're not, make sure to go back and finish it before you get started on what's in this video. You won't be able to do anything that's in this video until you finish this one, so great. All right, so we're gonna look at this graphs of linear functions. Gonna hit the let's go button. I'm gonna come in and we see that we have two workspaces on this one. So the first one says exploring graphs of linear functions. So when you click on this one, when it says let's go, you're gonna come in. All right, takes a while to load. Yep. All right, so you'll notice, first thing you want to notice is look in the top right corner. You'll see that these are the filled in dots, not the open circles. So that means that when it's filled in, remember that that means that it's trying to teach you something. So if you make mistakes, it won't count against you, right? It will help you out if you just kind of like mess around and guess random things. You know, it'll tell you if it's right or wrong. You've got the hints there. And it's not counting how many mistakes you make. It's trying to teach you something. So you'll have on the left side here, you have a tool, you've got a graph, you've got a slider, you can move it around, play around with it, answer these questions. All right, since this is more of a learning one, I'm not going to focus on it in this video, but remember you do have to get through and fill in all three of these dots and make them green before you can move on. All right, once you have finished the exploring graphs of linear functions, the next piece you're going to do is this identifying key features of graphs and functions. Click, and it loads. All right, so it will automatically take you into a step-by-step example. So just for a minute, right? I remember how I suggest you always should do the step-by-step example first, but for a minute, I'm going to go to the actual problem. Okay, it'll load. All right, and then again, I'm just going to say, notice up in this top right-hand corner, see, these are the circles that look kind of like they're not filled in, like kind of look like loading circles. This is telling you this is a problem that's being, for lack of a better words, graded. All right, they're counting your mistakes. If you get things right, these circles will fill in. They count for the standards. If you get things wrong, they will go backwards. So make sure that, you know, it's okay to get things wrong, but you're not just guessing randomly. All right, let's do this step-by-step example problem together. All right, so you see we've got a graph over here. This is what we're focusing on in this unit. I got a graph here. And the first question says, select the number of y-intercepts. So we're going to look, and it says, how many times does the graph of the function cross the y-axis? Remember, the y-axis is the vertical one. And we see we've got 1 point here crossing it. So we're going to go into our drop-down menu, click 1. Next thing it's going to do is it's going to have you actually click the point. So you click the select point button. Over here, you take this blue cursor and you move it over that point that we said was the y-intercept. And then you click. Awesome. And it will label it. All right, next thing we have to do is select the number of x-intercepts. So remember, x-axis is the horizontal. And we'll see we've got 1 and 2 points that go through the x-axis. So in our drop-down menu, click the 2. And again, it's going to have you select the points. So since we said that there were 2 points, we're going to have to click 2 points on the graph. So we're going to click right there. That was 1 x-intercept. And then we're going to click our second one. Awesome. And you will see that on our graph, they've been labeled. All right, moving on to our next question. Does the function have a minimum x value? So our step-by-step is telling you that the x values are on the horizontal axis. As I go to the left, does it look like the graph of the function ends or keeps on going forever? So this is where you kind of have to use your imagination. We see that the graph does end here, but you have to ask yourself, is that actually an end, or is that just because the picture got cut off? And you'll notice, right, there's no dot right there. So we're gonna say that that means that this is gonna keep going to the left even though the picture got cut off. So there is no minimum x value. All right, now we're looking for a maximum or biggest. So we look at our graph, again, x values are on the horizontal axis. So as you move to the right, does the graph end or keep on going? So we're going towards the right. We see our graph goes up here. And then again, it gets cut off because the picture gets cut off. But that does not mean that it ends. It keeps going to the right. So we're going to say that it does not have a maximum. It keeps going. All right, and then we have to pick a statement to describe our domain. So we talked about domain back in the fall in our classes. So is the domain all real numbers, meaning that it goes to both sides and never stops? Or a subset would be if it stops. So if we look at our domain, it's all real numbers because it doesn't stop going. We pick no and no. So if you ever click no and no, domain is all real numbers. All right, then we're going to look at our minimum y value. So again, this tells me y values are represented on the vertical axis. As you move down, does the graph the function end or keep going forever? So I've got my axis, I look down, down, oh, and I'll move this so we can see the graph a little better. See how there's no graph in this bottom part down here? That tells me that the graph ended going down. So where's the minimum point? It looks like this is the point that is the farthest down on the graph. So over here, I'm going to say that yes, there is a minimum. And then we have to actually select the point. All right, go in, we've got our cursor. We go over that point that's the farthest down. Click over it, and it will label it for you. All right, look, it's a 0.3, -49. So we have to actually enter the minimum y value. So we have to pick which of these two numbers is the y. Do you remember? Oh, you're correct. It's definitely that second number. So the y is always the second number. So we're going to put -49. Press enter. Great. All right. Now we have to say, does it have a maximum y value? So as you move up, does the graph end or keep on going forever? So we're going to look up, 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 up. And again, the graph looks like it ends, but that's just because the picture cuts off. This will keep going up and up and up and up if we were to make the picture bigger. So that means that there is no maximum. Look at that. All right, and then we look at here. We have to pick, is it all of them or is it a subset? So the only time you click all real numbers is when you click that there is no minimum and no maximum. Because we said yes, there's a minimum, we have to click the subset of real numbers. There we go. All right, and the last thing we have to do is we have to write an inequality for the range. So we know that -49 is the smallest. We can't go below that. So we have to go above. So all the y values, remember that this is a range, so it's going to be y. They are all above -49. Or if we were to write inequality, we could say greater than. All right, here's our thing. We say y is greater than or equal to -49. So in order to get that greater than or equal to symbol, you're going to click this down arrow button. And you're going to have some options for symbols to write. We want the greater than or equal to sign, which is this one. Click that. And then we type in -49. Press enter. Yay, we did it. And we completed the problem. So once you get through that, you're going to go to your problem. All right, remember that this is telling you this problem is being graded. It's counting your mistakes. So if you start getting stuff wrong, make sure you're looking for hints. It's okay to get things wrong. You just can't be putting in random answers. All right, you're gonna have different pictures, gonna go through them. Try it on your own. Good luck. Make sure to email your teachers if you've got any questions. They're there to help you out. All right, see you later.